Hi Pisces, welcome to my channel. On 24th of July, Sun and Moon opposed each other, illuminating 1 degree 26 minutes of Aquarius, forming a full moon, which will influence us for the next 2 weeks, bringing certain conclusions, realizations, culminations and release. We would have another full moon in Aquarius on 22nd of August, which would influence us on the same themes from 22nd of August to 6th of September. Together, they are bringing us one step closer to what we seeded with Saturn Jupiter conjunction of December 2020, which is the new structure of our material growth for the next 20 years. We would also have a fun Leo season ahead, which is strong and needs to be balanced with these two full moons and the realizations or culminations that they're bringing in August. In the full moon video, I gave a brief of what the Leo season and the full moons bring to the collective, and now we are going to go over your specific zodiac sign to see the influence for your sign. You should check your rising sign followed by sun or moon sign. Rising is the most accurate, though career perspective holds from sun sign as well. Moon sign gives more information on the influence on our personal life. I use tropical western zodiac. I do describe the specific degrees in my readings to make them more personalized for you, to show who is most impacted or benefited, but keep in mind the transit I describe here are for all of your zodiac and not just for those degrees of your sign. As before, if you would like to receive transcript of all of my videos and podcasts in your mailbox or just get the details of transit as they happen, you can sign up for my free newsletter. Link is in description for that. If you would like to support my work, making it more sustainable for me to do this at cost of a coffee a month, link to becoming a patron is in description as well. I would like to thank my patrons and subscribers who make this content possible. To not miss out on notification of any critical transit for you, do subscribe and press the little bell button for notifications. I appreciate your subscription, likes, comments, and your loving support very much. My name is Charu and I'm your host on this journey. Let's dig in. Pisces, both the 24th of July and 22nd of August full moon, they are happening in your house of peace, healing, health, recognizing your hidden talents and place in universe. They activate a awakening, a spiritual awakening. A sudden set of information or download or sudden idea could come up in your sleep or during a period of meditation, during travel, during isolation, and a sudden move to a far off country or place could happen. Sudden development while you are in a foreign country, a sudden subconscious epiphany can come. You might be fulfilling a karmic obligation, taking care of things behind the scene. You might be engaged in spiritual discipline. You might be in solitude to pursue studies or a key project, or engaged in deep study which might be under the wraps or done behind the scene. You could also be taking an inspirational role in charity or spiritual pursuits, but all of this is done behind the scenes. This brings psychological shifts. This epiphany that you receive while you're working behind the scene, they bring psychological shifts. They bring secrets to open, they bring revelations, they bring to surface certain old subjects or even ancestral secrets or a pattern which is well ingrained, but now you see it. And this awareness can bring end of suffering, healing, or even a source of economic growth to you. You face your demons with confidence here and boldly move forward. Dream life can bring some very critical ideas. Creative pursuits are finalized, but they're all done behind the scene, at least till 8th of August. Undercover work is done, but of relevance, but without the show. In rare cases, a secret enemy could come to light only for benefit of you so it can stop harming you. Everything below the surface is worked with objectivity, with ease as we close and release an old chapter and a cycle, bringing final touches possibly to something before a launch, especially if something was seeded in January or February. It's the time of the year when you might feel like retreating a bit, to take a break in some ways, to break a pattern, to take self inventory. We objectively review what is the divine reason for our soul's incarnation, or why did our soul choose this life. We clean the closet of psyche to some extent, and in that process, we see how far we have come, what chapters need closing, and which ideas are worth pursuing forward. We don't need to be anyone to anyone in that moment as we focus on healing, well being, or not participating in aggressive ongoing enterprise at this time. Saturn, to some extent, in your house of self actualization, has been pushing you to do this self inventory this year. And in some cases, it might have come through isolation. It might have put you in isolation whether you would want it or not. And this might be the time when we need to search for some answers, which we will not find in the noise. The most inspirational insights in that moment come to you during those seemingly isolating moments of quiet relief. Here we work hard on resolving our demons. We deal with psychological healing. We deal with spiritual pursuits. We deal with creative pursuits. We deal with humanitarian efforts. We deal with charity, volunteering matters, but without the show. And through that, unknowingly, we are preparing our legacy. We make a commitment to an ideal that does not exist right now, something that's ahead of time in social impact, in spirituality, in creative impact. It's a belief, a commitment to your own evolution that you're making right now. As Saturn is retrograde right now, you might be cleaning house, releasing some karmic ties, confronting the past, setting the new rules of the road, which might mean releasing the past and overcoming some negative pattern, which this is a great time to weed out and release. But within that process, there are emerging certain patterns that are becoming your legacy. They could be in the field of spirituality, helping people in some ways, creative pursuits, hidden pursuits, deep psychological studies, working with institutions, working for human welfare, projects of large scale human impact, ahead of time ideations, but they are kept in wraps. Healing methods, charity, volunteering work, which you deem as your legacy, again, the seeds of that might have been planted in January and February, and they might be coming for their first stage of completion now. This goes way beyond material. You, through them, are finding your place in the universe, your impact on the collective, your influence and contribution to the collective. And in the process of that, if we are off course, if we are far away from what our purpose in this life is, we will find that through certain confrontations in August, especially around 1st of August and 19th of August, when we have Saturn and Jupiter retrograde cycles reaching their midpoint opposition. Through certain oppositions from another, through some fights with another, through some over the top discussions with another, you can find them. And they could be with somebody at work, it could be with a coworker, it could be even with a person who's your adversary, or it can come through a criticism from another. It will show you more information, it will show you possibly some gaps in your plan. They could be gaps of practical application that you're shown. It could be some fixes we need to do. And that would open the sort of the blockage to move forward. This could very well be true, if especially some sort of projects is being worked behind the scene, but you don't know what is the blockage, and this could give you the answer. Jupiter will be moving out of your sign. Jupiter is your ruler and it's moving out of your sign. It will only come fully in your sign in 2022. It will be moving out of your sign on 28th of July. But it can help you in working behind the scene now. It can help you in cleaning the subconscious, help you in these hidden pursuits, bring more knowledge, opportunity, and perspective to you. In the Saturn Jupiter conjunction video, which I did in December 2020, I did a very detailed review of how this would become the source of your material growth for the next decade. You can refer to that on how this full moon is part of a bigger plan for you in terms of your long-term legacy that you're creating. In terms of history, you can look at the period between July and September of 2018 as to what was brought to focus for you for parallel themes, more personalized for you. And remember that in 2018, it was the time to release and detach. This time, whatever you might be working behind the surface, it could be something behind the scene. It is not purely a spiritual pursuit. We need to give it a physical form because Saturn is here. When Saturn is there, we need to give concrete form to it. We need to create some material progress from it. So whatever you're working on, whether it's creative, spiritual, humanitarian, it needs to have a practical outcome. It needs to have a tangible outcome. It needs to have a progress forward. This full moon of 24th of July, it could fall in the house of networks and friends for some of you, especially the N degree Pisces. So 27 degree to 30 degree of Pisces, or around 17th to 20th of Feb born Pisces sun, you might have a completion or culmination of something critical in terms of a visionary project launch. It could be a social media project. It could be gains and rewards. It could be fan base. It could be social network. It could be friends, connections, visions, and goals as something lucrative could come to pass with this full moon between 24th of July to 8th of August. And the themes of rest and restoration for these N degree Pisces, 27 to 30 degree, or around 17th to 20th of Feb born Pisces sun, they will get its due time only with the 22nd of August full moon, which is towards the end of August, with specific focus at that time. August would require us to balance between these two sides of ourselves, this side of you which focuses on the practical, on the day-to-day routines, on work and health routines, and the part of you that wants to find and explore your role in the universe. It's very easy to disappear with so much focus on our hidden side, especially to tune out when people are being too loud or aggressive, but problems and day-to-day needs to be dealt with. And Leo season is the time when we need to deal with the day-to-day. It may be time when we need to bring some practical application of our ideas. We need to find formal working models to get it out, to get out of isolation, to serve outside involving others. It can feel easier to stay away or escape versus going back out to the outside world, which seems loud, but once you get back in the rhythm, it can be fun for you. August can bring opportunity for us to change our work environment and health routines to integrate these inspirational ideas into our day-to-day. What we find in our inner journey, we can find a way to integrate that in our work environment and health routines. We can bring it out to the practical world. The 8th of August Leo New Moon, which is a bold and impulsive one, that could be an opportunity to do just that. It can bring a bold and impulsive change in your work environment, in your health routines. This can bring new opportunity to lead a team or to serve through formal channels, through formal job, work, but it could still have to do with helping others. So you can integrate the purpose you feel so strongly about to help others, to help the disadvantaged, or to help the underdog in some ways. You can bring that to a formal work culture, to a formal structure, which is a career. We should look out for work clashes as it's a impulsive move and it is a little bit out of norm in some ways. We can feel very underappreciated in some ways. We can feel underappreciated for our brilliance, for our talents, or not recognized for our passions, which can be a propelling factor to change in our work environment. Even as a leader, though somehow you remain humble or serve, even as a leader, we can feel that. See that the work or project you initiate, it fulfills your need for freedom of self expression, as well as brings this aim that you have, this inspirational goal you have to have a bigger impact on the collective in some ways. And that might mean changing jobs, changing work environment, changing the kind of projects you're involved in. And it's possible that you might decide to go independent, which can suit you better. This could bring also focus on health for some of you, which could lead to starting a new health routine, or in some ways you might want to lead the field of healing and health. And you might initiate something bold and inspirational on those lines. You feel your sense of identity and ego is very much invested in this work. You'll feel very close to it in your heart because you tend to give all your heart to what you work on. So it's got to be something which is an ideal for you, which has to integrate your ideal. So your overall aim of being useful and to serve, it needs to somehow come out in your work, and you'll make changes in your work in this period between 8th of August to 22nd of August. This could be a way to fulfill this need to sort of fulfill the need to be serving others, to be useful, to create something humanitarian, creative. On health front, heart and spine, they are your stress points. So when your health house is activated, just make sure that you're not taking on too much, which stresses these parts of you. If you're initiating new work or changing work, your health needs to be taken care of. There needs to be a balance in your day to day. I'm saying this specifically because August is a very nervy month. We'll have Uranus standing still, so the nerves in our body linked to the heart, they can get very overstimulated. We can have a period of very nervy energy in August which can affect it. So just take care of your health. Pisces rising sun or moon around 16 degree of Pisces, 3 degrees before, 3 degrees after, or around 6th of March born Pisces sun, 3 days before and after, can feel the most to initiate something new when it comes to their work. They can change their complete kind of projects that they are in, and they should also be very careful on health because those are the degrees where Uranus is playing out as well. Keep in mind that in August we would have Uranus standing still around 20th of August. It will exaggerate our need for freedom and change. Especially for you, it will create an exaggerated need to express yourself, your self-expression, and to change your commercial connections and commercial life. We would see ourselves completely amped up to speak up, give our perspective, which comes with detached clarity. You'll not hold back when it comes to speaking up. The positive of that, and Uranus is in positive aspect with you, the positive is that you will not hold back your innovative ideas, which can help you get something really innovative out there, ahead of time out there. It can help you in quick ramp up of skills. You can have a very steep learning curve, which you can easily sort of grow through. You can take an unexpected travel, but it's a very restless energy, especially for your mind. You'll feel overstimulated in your mind with it. Uranus aims to free you from old thinking, from old skills, from old connections, from old knowledge, old learning, even the neighborhood that we are in, if it's constraining, it aims to free you of that as well. As we seek more freedom in our expression, in our mind, in our surrounding, we are more likely to rebel any kind of constraint or authority in our immediate surrounding. Uranus will stand still, aspecting around 15 degree of Pisces. So 15 degree of Pisces, 2 degrees before and after, Pisces rising sun or moon, or Pisces sun born around 5th of March, 2 days before and after, could feel this urge to be free, to express, to rebel against any authorities in your immediate surroundings, in your neighborhood the most. Know that this energy can be a bit over the top around 20th of August, and we can feel nervy. In some rare cases, our neighbors or young associates or siblings, they can act up during this time. Take advantage of the epiphanies, the sudden ideas these aspects are bringing you, but be careful of these struggles and fights and volatility that these can bring, especially verbal fights with somebody at work, somebody who works for you, is part of your team, or could be even an adversary. I covered Uranus in your house of ideation in detail in your 2021 reading because it's not a short term theme. The Saturn Uranus square, which these aspects are highlighting, it's the key theme of 2021. So do review that because that will get highlighted in 2021. I'll leave the link to that in the description as well if you want to go more in depth into that. So have a great month ahead, and I'll see you in the next video now. Thank you.